Hello and welcome to round 8 of the 2019 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Montreal, Canada. My name is Downton and I'll be joined today by Alex Easton.
Afternoon everyone.
Today then the drivers will be tackling 70 laps of this 4.361 kilometre circuit. It was Adrian Simon who won here last year and he is the most victorious driver around the circuit. He has taken 3 wins in the 6 visits. Can he win again here today? He'll have to go some. Let's take a look through the grid then. It's Enrique Ruiz who lines up on pole position. He starts on the medium tyres, as does Nathaniel Powers alongside him. Those two, and Klaas van Snelheid, who starts in 3rd. Klaas is on the softs. Those 3 drivers have made up the top 3 in the last 4 races now. Quite incredible from 3 of them, absolute domination. Alongside Klaas on the 2nd row is Timo Kinnaman. Kinnaman starts on the mediums. Row 3 has Felix Perez on the soft tyres, heading Adrian Simon on the mediums. I say Simon starting from 6th will have to go some to add to his 3 victories around this circuit. Row 4 has Alexander Zazolya also on the softs, heading a brilliant effort from Mario Juan Lopez. Lopez in the Meteor starting from 8th, also on the soft tyres. Rounding out the top 10, Sebastian Bergqvist with a great effort in the Holmqvist, he is on the softs. Alar Kanga disappointed with 10th in the 2nd of the DS Mastershores, he is on the medium tyres. Just outside the top 10, Gilles Simon in the 2nd of the Meteors, he is on the mediums. And Felix Baer, fresh from his maiden podium last time out, he's on the mediums as well, starting from 12th. 13th, Johan Halverson. He finished just behind Baer last time out and starts just behind him here. Halverson is on soft tyres. Alongside him in 14th is Thierry Zylander, the best of the Phoenix cars. He is on the medium tyres. He has his teammate just behind. Sergio Alvarez starts in 15th. He's on the mediums as well, as is Gabriele Garcia in 16th, the 2nd of the North Stars. North Star and Phoenix all together, not quite what you'd have expected given the early season pace. But there they are. Row 9 is Carsten Davenport with a brilliant effort in the Chima on the soft tyres, and Will Hoskins in 18th on the hard tyres. The only Andromeda in the race after De La Fuente failed to qualify. Elroy Wagner starts from 19th on the mediums alongside the lead Ocelot of Puccio Giordano. He is on the mediums as well. His teammate is right behind. Hunter Ryan starts from 21st. He's on the soft tyres with the sole AMR of Finn Schneider in 22nd on the mediums. Dmitry Kovalenko once again failing to qualify for the race, as he's done since Australia. 23rd is Victor Osberg in the 2nd of the Lopez cars. He's on the mediums. And he has John Matson alongside on the hards. Matson is the first of 3 drivers who was sent to the back of the grid after the teams failed to meet the strategy deadline. Vasquez and Hutchinson make up the back row, and they are both on the mediums. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Enrique Ruiz in pole position on the right, Nathaniel Powers 2nd on the left. It's a long hold for the drivers. The lights go out now and we're racing in Montreal, so great start from Enrique Ruiz. Nathaniel Powers then, who's had phenomenal starts in the last few races, can't capitalise, and it's Ruiz who leads into turn 1. Powers 2nd, Klaas 3rd, Kinnaman 4th as the top 4 filter through in order. Perez is 5th, is Sebastian Bergqvist around the outside of Adrian Simon. They're wheel to wheel then as they head down to turn 3. Bergqvist, who started 9th on the grid, has made 2 places already. Can he make it 3? He's still there on the outside of Adrian Simon, squeezes the Frenchman to the wall. And Bergqvist, I think, Simon's coming back in, but no! Bergqvist takes 6th place then, so the top 5 are still in the order. Bergqvist has jumped 3 places up to 6th.
Absolutely unbelievable start from Bergqvist there, making those soft tyres work and obviously getting the better of Simon there from 9th on the grid. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruiz leads then ahead of Powers, Klaas van Snelheid, Kinnaman and Perez. Top 5 in the order they started. Bergqvist up into 6th ahead of Simon, Zazolya, Lopez and Jules Simon. They filter around the hairpin. Perez and Bergqvist already quite a gap between them.
Yeah, those top 5 are really starting to streak away already, and Klaas van Snelheid will be looking to make those soft tyres work and try and get past those front 2 if possible. But
yeah, he certainly will. Let's not forget the top 2 are on the mediums then. Klaas is on the softs, and I think, so is Perez then in 5th. So the pair of them will need to do some overtaking if they're to make this work. Meanwhile, behind them, Bergqvist has already done it. It's Enrique Ruiz, and surprisingly, sets the fastest lap on the first tour.
That is one that I wasn't expecting, but yeah. And here we see the Phoenix guys on screen, who have done absolutely nothing at the start, really. But
yeah, did they not start 14th and 15th and stop?
They
14th
did,
and 15th?
but
they swapped places.
Absolutely. So clearly team orders already coming into effect down at Phoenix.
Come on, Thierry, move over. It's lap 1.
No. It's been a good start from Jules Simon in the second of the Meteor. He's right up behind Mario Juan Lopez, who started a few places ahead of him already.
JML.
JML. Wait, is it MJL or... I'm really confused already.
It's MJL, but we're just calling JML because it's better.
That's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, JML are a company.
That's the one. Thing. And
also a racing driver.
And that.
Oh, so here we go. On board, with Adrian Simon then as we come to the final chicane. Closing right up on the back of Bergqvist, but can't do anything. Keeps it well away from the wall of champions in these open laps as Ruiz bangs in another fastest lap. Adrian Simon looks as though he's setting up Sebastian Bergqvist for moving to turn 1. Still nothing doing, but even at this stage you can see that DS Matashore is a far quicker car. And I don't think it'll be long before Simon gets past.
You think so? But then again, I remember here last year, they were really struggling to overtake at this track. And if it's going to be the same again, Bergqvist could be in a really good position on those. He's on the softs, isn't he?
Yeah.
But, okay. But he's still, in a really good position.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's sick, to be fair. That's not bad at all. The top 5, though, are rather comfortably pulling clear of him now already.
Well, Holmqvist standards, living up to second place last race. I don't think he'll quite manage that, but
yeah, he's got 4 to go. Come on, mate, get your foot down. Oh, it's behind Alar Kanga then, looking to make back up the place that he lost at the start, and he's done it. Down the inside of Jules Simon at the hairpin, and Kanga back up into the top 10.
Yeah, you think that's a fairly easy move, really, and on Mario Juan Lopez should be not too difficult either. Kanga really needs to make up a lot of ground, doesn't he?
Yeah, mind you, Simon is coming back at him into the final chicane then. They're wheel to wheel. Kanga gives him a lot of room on the outside, but Simon can't do anything with it, and Kanga holds on to 10th place.
Incredibly fair racing from Kanga, you have to say, but...
Yeah, I'd have put him right in the wall. Yeah, Alar Kanga, it's strange how he's had a lot of bad luck already this year, and this is only race 8, but he's had a lot of bad luck already, and I just think it's affecting him somewhat. Now that he's back in a car that's not, I think, the class of the season as it was last year, he just seems to be struggling somewhat again.
Yeah, I think really DS Matashore were expecting to be in about the position that they're in this race before the season started, and maybe the performance at the start of the season surprised them a little bit, but still, I think he was expecting a little bit better than he's had so far.
Yeah, he certainly wouldn't be expecting to be poodling around in 10th position.
Behind JML.
Yes, behind JML. Meanwhile, Prez is doing a solid job, but here comes Adrian Simon then, down the inside of Bergqvist into the final chicane, and surely he's going to get this done. Bergqvist pretty much jumps out of the way as though he was terrified to be anywhere near him, but he's kept his foot in there wheel to wheel. Simon edging him towards the pit wall, but wheel to wheel. Bergqvist has the inside line for turn 1. Can Simon sweep around the outside? He absolutely can, and that's going to give Zazolia a chance to go up the inside of turn 2 as well. Can Bergqvist hold this? He did it at the start of the race, but he can't hold it now. Zazolia is through into 7th place.
Yeah, he was unfortunate to get mugged there, but it looks like
Bergqvist is coming back at him through the right left. This is the right left, not left right. Bergqvist round the outside, but he couldn't hold it, and Zazolia is indeed through into 7th.
Now he's got JML for company on the same tyres in probably a pretty similar performance car, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably not too much between these. I think the only one out of position now really is Kanga, isn't it, in that little group?
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant in the entire field. I mean, look at Davenport, speaking of out of position.
Yeah, Davenport doing a great job at 60. The only teamer in the race, and he's ahead of like 10 people. It's ridiculous.
That is a stunning effort from Davenport, I have to say. And here he goes on Zylander. Bloody hell.
Yeah, as in front of them, Alvarez takes Halverson 13.
Yes! I mean, yeah, that was a good move by Sergio. Very professional.
Let's talk about North Star for a second. Here we go. This is Thierry Zylander coming back at Carsten Davenport. He was absolutely not going to take that one line down. Round the outside of the front again. But he can't pull it off then. Zylander tucks back in.
The Alfa Romeo engine, obviously, doing its job there.
There's a hamster in the back of that car.
I was saying nothing.
Mind you, it's a hamster that just outpowered a Phoenix, you know.
I'm not surprised.
What was my point anyway? North
Star,
Star, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 2 years ago, we turned up here and they took a shock victory, let's be fair to say, by absolutely nailing the strategy. Then they've been right up there this season. But suddenly, here, and the last race as well in Spain. Yep. They've just... No, they was third in Spain with Houghton, weren't they? Was it the race before then in France?
Britain and France, both Britain and France, they didn't score a single point, did they?
Yeah, and they just sort of like seemed to be lacking. But to be fair, I think they weren't particularly high up on the grid in Spain either, were they? But sort of lucked into the positions with the strategy that they got right.
Yeah, I think you'd be absolutely spot on in saying that, but it's been I was going to mention this actually. It's been really strange how for the first 4 races they looked like probably the best of the rest, I'd say, behind the top 4 teams.
Yeah, and if nothing else, they were right there with North Star. They are North Star. They were right there with first.
They were. Whereas now, I mean, they seem to be scrapping it out with the. I mean, you'd say they're behind Holmquist and Meteor and scrapping with sort of Phoenix and even Davenport.
Yeah, and it's
really strange.
It's just happened like literally overnight.
It seemed to be we hit Britain where they finished, I believe, 14th and 16th, and then France was just even worse. Especially Garcia seems to have had. He's been really struggling for pace.
Yeah, he certainly has. There's up front someone else that seems to be struggling for pace at the moment. It's Tim McKinnon slipping back already from the top 3 as a gap is opening up between Klaas and Kinnaman. Likewise, Adrian Simon, after just 7 laps, we're practically at the end of it, pretty much already on his own.
Yeah, it looks like he's in for a lonely afternoon with. Although Zazulia's got past Bergqvist, didn't he? So I'm kind of surprised that Zazulia has not kept up with Adrian.
Yeah, although mind you, he's probably a little bit rusty, isn't he? Because let's be fair, all he had last time out was a practice and qualifying session.
I must admit, I totally forgot about that. That was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. But then now he seems to have turned it back on again. And
yeah, well, and not only that, but I mean, look at that. Last time out, obviously Zaloli was in the Andromeda alongside Rodolfo De La Fuente, who, yes,
isn't here.
Strategy played a part. De La Fuente, you know, in the result, but De La Fuente finished 8th, took Andromeda's best ever result, his first career points, and now he's failed to qualify here in Canada.
It's a very topsy-turvy
for only the second
races.
time.
Yeah, I must admit, I've been forgetting that. I thought it'd be a lot more times that
I think everyone did.
Ultimately, yeah, I mean, you know, we've got to be honest here. But he's actually been performing quite incredibly, really. Especially last race, you've got to be there to get those opportunities, and he made the grid and got there.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, made the most of it. But it's not worked out here in Canada, and well, he's not in a Formula Virtual car. He is sat in the back of the garage somewhere, probably not enjoying our commentary.
Looking pretty miserable. Hi, Rodolfo.
As I think, yeah, we've got at least one car from every team on the grid, haven't we?
We have. We've even got an AMR. Sorry, Ryan.
Ouch. Brutal.
No, I'm pleased to see Finn on the grid because, you know, it's been a while. Well, none of them qualified last time out, did they?
No, I don't think they did.
And we've not seen
mind you, Kovalenko hasn't qualified since Australia either. I'm not entirely sure why he keeps turning up, frankly.
I don't know if he does he?
Would you originally just send the car out with a remote control?
It might do that.
Ouch.
I don't know what's up with me.
Maybe you've taken a leaf out of Harry's book and
I think he's rubbed off
drinking
on me.
ahead of commentary. Really, really quite brutal today. I apologise to everyone out there. Everyone's going to get it in the neck at some point.
It's okay. I'll give it to myself plenty of time. So that just sounds weird. Right.
Arden Hutchinson then. He started last. He's still last. And unfortunately, some way off the back of the pack. That Lucas really does seem to be struggling, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I keep wondering how he keeps making it onto the grid. He's doing an incredible job recently, Arden. Whereas Marcus hasn't been on the grid since Japan, has he? The second race of the season.
No, I don't think he has. He made the first two and he hasn't bothered since.
Yeah, he's happy now. He's like, take me back to Indy.
Well, I mean, in fairness, he did win that.
it's a bit
Probably
of a...
turned up here and gone, hang on a second.
This purple machine isn't doing exactly what I hoped. Yeah, but in all seriousness, I don't know. I mean, it's quite well known, I think, that the Lucas team have got a fair amount of money behind them through the owner, Lucas Wilson. But it's just not... I think they've been the most disappointing of the three new teams this season, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
I say I'd agree. I think more was expected of them, but then let's not forget, a team coming in their first season, I don't think, or okay, not quite their first season, but first season back in Lucas's case, I don't think you can expect to be right at the front. So it's that sort of balance, isn't it, of going, how much do I develop for this year versus how much do I want to develop for next year? Do I go all in for this year and have a great first season and then go, crumbs, I've got no money left? Or do you sort of like play it by ear and kind of gradually try and step up?
Absolutely, and I mean, for all we know, they may have some incredible future plans. I'm sure they do, Lucas, if you're listening. But it must be really, really depressing for those guys guys and girls who have come back together after that time away and found themselves right down there.
Yes, but at least they have a car on the grid.
That's very true. That's very true. The same can be said for... Where is Schneider? Oh, he's...
24. He's ahead of Jean Matson.
Matson has really... Oh, he's on the hard tyres, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah, but Vasquez has only made up, 2 places from 25th on the grid?
Yeah.
That's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, given their, Ingram have had a really weird season. They were kind of flitting there just on the outskirts of the top 10 in the first few races, and then they've kind of vanished a little, and then suddenly out of nowhere pulled 2 fantastic point scoring finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair to
Vasquez's drive in Silverstone was absolutely sublime. Quite how he got that car in that position in qualifying and kept it there in the race, I will never know.
He really is proving himself in his second season. Once again, I mean, he did quite a lot last season, and then, if I remember correctly, tailed off in the second half. And, questions were being asked a little bit. But now I think he's really showing everybody what he's made of.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he's certainly... I reckon he's eyeing up a seat towards the front. Whether that might well be with Ingram in seasons to come, I don't know. Or maybe with another team, but yeah, I think Vasquez is one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have ended up at Franklin, but of course, with what's going on there, that ain't going to happen unless he gets drafted in later this season.
Yeah, to replace an underperforming Kinnaman. Is that fair?
I think it's entirely fair at the moment. I personally was expecting a lot more of Kinnaman, to be quite honest. I know his teammate is Ruiz, and Ruiz is Ruiz, but I think you'd expect him to be beating him on some occasions.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times. I was a fairly lone voice in the paddock, but I didn't think Kinnaman would perform exceptionally. And here we go.
Yeah, and it looks like he's actually fallen back into the clutches of Perez once again.
Yeah, he is. Well, he's not really shaken Perez the whole race, but they've slipped back even further from the leaders now. But mind you, Adrian Simon's not really catching the pair of them.
Yeah, it all seems to have sort of, not stagnated, but, settled down now between...
No, it's stagnated.
Is that?
Absolutely stagnated. I think the two closest cars in the top 10 are blooming the two Downtons.
Yeah, and that's surprising as well. I was expecting Class to be really on the back of those front two guys, but I guess it just shows what an incredible job they're doing so far.
Yeah, well, I think as you mentioned earlier, overtaking here last year proved quite difficult, which is strange for Canada, but alas, here we are. And yeah, I think Class starting third on the soft tyres, it hasn't helped him. If he'd have been on pole position, or at least on the front row, and got the jump at the start, I think he'd have been in with a much better shout. But yeah, this is hurting his race now, you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be interesting to see when he has to come in for his first pit stop, but it's it's certainly not the position he wanted to be in and probably expected to be in before.
Yes, absolutely. As we ride on board with the Dutchman.
And Kanga is still stuck behind Lopez, I've just noticed. That is not going to plan for Kanga.
It's not, is it? And I mean, Lopez seems to be up on the back of Sebastian Bergqvist now as well. But yeah, Kanga struggling. But I think everyone's struggling. I don't think we've seen an overtake since about lap 4.
Although Davenport's back past Zylander now.
Hurrah! I mean, no, not hurrah. But an
hurrah
overtake.
Hurrah is Chima. I mean, in fact, that's seeing as we've seemed to be in a bit of a lull so far. Chima last race, I think we're probably on course for the first points until Perez took Milkovic out.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. I mean, I can't remember exactly where Milkovic was running, but I'm fairly sure on those hard tyres he'd have ended up well inside the top 10, sort of somewhere around 9th.
Off the top of my head, he was running right behind Alvarez, who finished in 7th, so probably, about 8th, 9th place, which would have been...
would have put them ahead of Andromeda.
Yeah, I mean, that would have meant the world to them.
Ouch.
I was devastated for Ahmed and the whole team, but, you know, like he said, these things happen, and they'll pick themselves up onto the next.
Very, very pragmatic about it all. It was... it's so nice to see a reaction from a team principal like that. So... laid back and like, yeah, you know, shit happens.
That's true. I'd be down in a pack of something or other and crying myself to sleep in a corner. But
well, you did after Malaysia last year. Or should we not bring that up?
I wasn't gonna.
I mean, you could always bring up Malaysia 17.
That's true. Oh, I could bring up Malaysia this year where we actually got an incredible result.
You did, yes. Let's go with that. We both had. Did we win in Malaysia? I've forgotten.
Did first and third. It was Class from Simon from Powers, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Do you know, it was easy like 4 years ago when we only had one win. I could remember where they all were.
Is it getting hard now that you've got 5 in a row?
Do you know it is? Yeah. Is that how many it is? Is it 5? Shite.
Yeah. Class, and then the last 3, Nathaniel.
Yeah, I know Powers has won the last 3. He needs to get a move on though. Unfortunately, there's a Ruiz in the way at the moment. You know, come on, just shuffle over, mate.
I think Ruiz may have something to say about that as we watch Will Hoskins in the Sol Andromeda defending from Hunter Ryan, running ahead of Giordano for the first time in a while. Yeah,
Ryan's another one he's had a confusing season so far. You look at him on paper, some of his results, he's been right there, but then every now and then he'll just be like a mile away.
Yeah, absolutely. Then again, I think that might have something to do with Giordano's performances. It was last race, wasn't it, where he qualified way up in about 12th after not qualifying for the race before.
Yeah, that was exactly it. He failed to qualify in France, and then last time in Spain, I think he was 14th on the grid, and it was like, well, hello, what are you doing here?
So I think Giordano's performances might have something to do with Ryan looking a bit up and down.
Class is in the pits, sorry. Class finished now high pits then at the end of lap 16, so that is a 4-stopper.
And Perez in as well, and Zazulia. Yeah, so we're getting all the soft runners in by the looks of things.
Yeah, it looks like a fairly quick stop from Class. So what's the pit lane loss time? He was right behind Powers, wasn't he? Probably about 15 seconds for a pit stop. That's not too bad.
It's not bad at all, and he's come out in miles of clean air behind Simon.
Yeah, he'll absolutely be wanting to make use of those soft tyres now. But as you say, he is behind Simon. The gap's 5 seconds, and I think Adrian is on mediums.
He is, yes, yeah. Oh, and that's not worked for Zazolia, who drops behind. Both Phoenixes and Halverson. That's not worked out at all for him.
No, but it has worked out for Perez, who's fed out into some clear air.
Just about ahead of Lopez and Kanga. Yeah, that's worked brilliantly for him.
Bergqvist has got 4 seconds up the road to Garcia.
That could be crucial for Perez when Kinnaman makes his pit, as they were right next to each other, weren't they? So.
Oh, that's a great show, actually. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now. What we're going to have to see is how long the medium-tired runners can go. Because if they're doing 3 stops, then the advantage might still swing to the soft-tired runners. I mean, look at Klaas van Snelheid. He's taken a second and a half out of the leaders already.
Yeah, okay, so now that he's actually running in clean air, those soft tyres are really showing their pace.
And there we go, fastest lap, and that's over a second quicker than the previous fastest lap, I think.
Yeah.
It was definitely a 118 something from Ruiz.
Yeah. And we've got Lopez
that was out
and
the pits as well.
Hey.
Okay. That's a stellar effort. Either that or the timing line in the pit lane is in the wrong place.
It could be a bit
Either way, I'll take it.
But either way, looking at how much he's gaining, he's already gained, 2 seconds nearly now on the leaders. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Klaas van Snelheid then absolutely flying. Perez behind him as well, also gaining a bucket load of time as Zazolia dives up the inside of that's Thierry Zylander. Sweeps around the outside. What a great move from the Ukrainian.
That is absolutely how it's meant to be done, and he's really going to need to make up these places quickly now. But that's the best start possible.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, we said we've not seen much overtaking so far, but quality over quantity, that was a great move from Zolia. I'm wondering if that's how we're going to have to rely on things, as fresh tyres here.
I think that may be the case. And we've got Lopez, who's come out behind Hoskins. He'll be looking to make that move.
Yeah,
right
here
about
we go,
now,
on screen. Lopez in the slipstream and pulls out to the left-hand side of Will Hoskins. It's fresh soft tyres against wearing hards, and that's an easy move for the Argentine.
Done before the corner, absolutely. Yeah. And now he can get on his merry way after Bergqvist.
Yeah, how is he so close to Bergqvist? Oh, he was right up behind him, wasn't he? Ignore me.
Yeah, I believe they pitted next to each other, didn't they? I think 1 lap apart, possibly.
Absolutely, as we see Adrian Simon then, with Klaas van Snelheid rapidly closing him in. And, this will not please Klaas whatsoever, because he's going to have to pass Simon now, and that's going to hamper his progress, you feel. As he's already down to, look at that, the gap's already down to 11.2 seconds, 15 when he came out the pits 2 laps ago.
That's unbelievable. How much has he closed on Simon? About 4 seconds.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
I think not just in this race, but in the qualifying session as well, the pace of the Downton compared to the DS Matthershaw here in Canada is really showing.
Yeah, what would be nice is if, they would do us a favour and just sort of just shuffle over, but I can't see that happening.
You don't have a direct line to Arthur Lapierre then?
I do, but it's just gone dead. Perez as well then came out the pits 20 seconds off the lead, now 17 and a half, so the Mexican closing in as well. The soft tyres are absolutely far and away looking to be the quickest here, but it's going to be a case of whether they can get the overtakes in now, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, who have we got on the side? It's because we've got most of the people out there on the mediums, haven't we?
Yeah, well, I think primarily the field is on the medium tyres. We've got a handful on the softs and then 2 on the hard tyres.
Guys up at the top, it's Klaas, Perez, Zazolia, Lopez, and Bergqvist on the softs. And then Alverson, I think, is the next one. Yeah.
So they're the ones to keep an eye on. There's on board with Klaas van Snelheid then. He's in the slipstream of Adrian Simon. Down the back straight, pulls to the inside, and surely this looks as though it's going to be absolutely easy for Klaas van Snelheid. He's got the inside line for the final chicane, and Klaas is through and into 4th place.
I think that's the first move we've seen down the inside into that final chicane so
far. I think
far.
it is, yeah.
And we've already got, is that Perez right on the back? Zazolia,
Yes,
sorry.
yeah.
Right on the back of
right
Alvarez.
on the back of Alvarez.
That's incredible how he's gone from one Phoenix to the other. And
look, Bergqvist passing Garcia.
Has he got it? Yeah.
Wheel to wheel then, as they come down the start-finish straight. Gabriele Garcia on the inside line. Sebastian Bergqvist on fresh, soft tyres. Can he sweep around the outside of turn 1? He absolutely can, and Sebastian Bergqvist is up into 13th.
Yeah, and he's already, 7 seconds behind Bayer, and he's made an extra pit stop.
Yeah. Bergqvist putting in a great drive so far.
On Bayer, who got his first podium last time out.
I don't think there was one driver or one person in the paddock who wasn't pleased to see Felix Bayer on podium.
Yeah, I mean, how long was it? Was it 80?
It was ridiculous. I think it was like his 85th race.
And here we go then. We've got Zazolia right on the back of Alvarez, going onto the straight, and I'm pretty sure he'll have this done at the final chicane.
Yeah, it looks as though he's certainly close enough. While likewise behind Lopez is right up, tucked under the rear wing, Gabriele Garcia. Can Zazolia get the move done on Alvarez to move himself back into the top 10 then? He's not pulled out yet, and he's absolutely gained nothing. He's just sat tucked under the rear wing of Alvarez, and Zazolia stays 11th. Meanwhile, behind, Lopez has moved past Garcia for 14th.
Obviously, the Ford V8 will be struggling slightly in comparison.
Oh, it's Lopez! No, that's Zazolia. Dives down the inside, sorry to cut across there. But Zazolia there dived down the inside of Alvarez at turn 1, and it looked as though he was all locked up and heading for an accident, but just managed to get it stopped.
Yeah, the Argentine holding on to the position. He's currently holding 10th place, of course, with pit stops to make, but he's been performing really well this season, and I think it goes to show performances. I don't know where I'm going with this. He's got a new contract basically, which was announced last weekend, that both drivers have got new contracts at Phoenix.
Yeah, interesting. Alvarez and Zylander kept on for another year. Obviously, Alvarez has proved his worth already, as Zazolia still looking to try and get by the Argentine. And Zylander, well, he's had an up and down first season so far. It's similar to someone we were talking about earlier, actually. I can't quite remember who it was now, but there we go. Zazolia got a far better exit out of the hairpin that time, and up the inside of Sergio Alvarez and into 10th place. But yeah, Zylander, I can't remember who it was we were talking about. Likewise, he's had I think it was Hunter Ryan.
Hunter Ryan, yeah.
He's been sort of on Alvarez's pace, and then every now and then he'll just be absolutely nowhere.
And it seems like when he's absolutely nowhere, Alvarez has a brilliant race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as I was saying in the press conference on Thursday, I think Zylander has probably, done about what the car has allowed him to do, whereas Sergio has just had that extra little bit, probably the experience from last season has allowed him to extract that little bit extra out of the car, whereas Thierry's struggled slightly on occasions. But, we've been pleased with him and we've kept him on for another year, 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. As we jump back to the guys at the front then, Klaas van Snelheid pulls out on Timo Kinnaman, down the inside at the final chicane, and once again for the Dutchman, that was easy, and Klaas is back into 3rd place.
Yeah, Klaas made that look incredibly easy on Kinnaman, and Jamie won't be happy with Timo so far this race. 9 seconds now behind Enrique Ruiz.
Yeah, on the same tyres.
Ouch.
Klaas van Snelheid, so he's already, having passed Adrian Simon, 2-3 laps ago, he's now 3 seconds up the road.
Yep, and he's
Those
now
soft tyres are working, aren't they, in clear air?
Already just over 8 seconds behind the leaders. That's incredible. Yeah.
He's halved the gap already, essentially, is to what it was when he came out the pits.
Yeah, Klaas is looking pretty good so far. Not to put any sort of curse on any.
Oh well, that's him in the wall.
Wall of Champions next time out.
Well, it's. Have we had anyone hit the Wall of Champions?
I'm not
sure we have.
No. I mean, to be fair, Powers is sort of stealing all of the the championships at the moment, so he's not giving people much chance to. But
yeah, mind you, he's struggling with Ruiz in this one. Some 2 seconds back now.
he has. I mean, when Klaas made the pit stop, Powers was right up, tucked behind Ruiz, wasn't he? But he seems to have just dropped off a little bit now. Whether he's just, easing off, seeing as he knew that there wasn't a way past, I don't know.
Oh, as this is Alexander Zolia then on Felix Baer, the Ukrainian, continuing to make moves through the top 10, and that once again was easy, although Baer is fighting him back then on the exit of the final chicane. They're wheel to wheel down the start finish straight. Felix Baer, fresh from his first podium, he's like, absolutely not, I am not giving this one up, but I don't think he's going to have a choice. As Zolia holds the outside line around turn 1 and cuts in, takes 9th place from Felix Baer.
Yeah, I don't think there was too much Bayer could actually do there, really, and Zazolia goes after Jules Simon, who is on the medium tyres, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. Just wondering how those on the hard tyres getting on. Hoskins is 16th with every man and his dog queued up behind him. And Matson is 24th at the back of that train, led by Hoskins. So there we go.
What happened to Ryan? Is Ryan on the soft tyres? Or he is. Okay.
There we go.
Because we were saying he was ahead of Giordano, and then he's dropped right down to the back behind Hutchinson. Oh, as we've got Mario behind Thierry's Islander.
Yeah, JML there, tucked under the rear wing of Belgium. Nothing doing into the hairpin, but you get the feeling, as long as he gets a decent exit here, he'll a blast by the Phoenix before the final chicane.
Ooh. How is it? Okay, I'm just going to see what happens here, but then I'm going to come back to that. Yeah, it looks like he's going for the inside line, and this should be reasonably easy for JML. I don't think Thierry will fight this too much on different...
No, it doesn't seem worth it, does it? And there we go. Lopez through into 13th place then.
What it does do is push Thierry right back into Gabriel Garcia, who's on the same strategy and looking pretty racy all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's true. Garcia's woken up. Taking him a few races, to be fair, but here we go.
This is what was needed. It's just a switch on the back of him.
He just needed to look at the rear end of a Phoenix.
Oh God.
Actually, that sounds a little bit weird.
Nick, what have you been telling your drivers?
Slightly higher up the order, Zazolia is, he's right behind another driver. It's Jules Simon this time. And you get the
he's
feeling
already on the back of him.
This is probably going to be another easy overtake for Zazolia. He was further back as the medium tyre runners are in the pits then. Ruiz, Powers, Kinnaman, Simon, all in the pits at the end of lap 26.
So that's going to be...
That's a two-stop. That's easy two-stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so those guys are on a 2. And the soft tyre runners are on a 4. That's a lot of time those guys on the softs have to make up. And Felix Perez has
jumped Powers.
Split. Yeah. Ruiz and Powers. Powers is that didn't work out at all. Perez is ahead of him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Powers. I'm presuming that he eased off just before those pit stops, but if he would have kept just that little bit closer to Ruiz, he would have come out just ahead of Perez, which could be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, mind you, he's harassing the Mexican already.
He absolutely is.
And it suddenly looks as though those soft tyres that have been so quick are, there's nothing left on them.
And the mediums have woken up. I mean, when did the soft tyre guys pit? Was it the end of lap 17?
I think, yeah, it was sort of 16, 17, somewhere along there. And it was a guaranteed full stop. Here comes Nathaniel Powers, though, on the medium tyres. The fresh mediums having just made his first stop. Alongside Felix Perez heading into the final chicane, and Powers is going to get that done easy and back into 3rd place.
I must admit, I was not expecting that. I thought Perez on the softs would have a fairly huge pace advantage, but
absolutely. But likewise, look at the time that Ruiz has taken out of class, half a second on his first lap.
Wow. And that's Simon pitting, I presume. Jules Simon,
yeah.
Yep.
So not necessarily the compound, but the fresh tyres here in Canada really paying dividends. It seems as though the track is really chewing through them.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly warm here for this time of year, isn't it? But even so, it's like you say, chewing through them way more than expected. Is that Holmquist a different colour to the other one?
No, I think it's weird. They look ever so slightly. I think one has like a glossy, shiny finish on it that kind of like reflects everything. The other one doesn't.
Oh, I wonder if they're trying something out with the arrows.
It does look weird though. One has a kind of like white reflective coat over it, and the other doesn't.
I think that's the one that I just saw. Yeah. Okay. Right. So that's that. And we've got Hoskins on the hards. He's only just up into 14th now with
it's
pretty
not
much
gone
everyone
well,
else. Yeah. And Matson even further back in 17th. So those hard tyres don't look like doing too much.
Mind you, Matson did start 24th, so...
That's true. And Vasquez, who started right behind him, is now 25th and stuck behind a lot of people. But
yeah, Vasquez is back where he started. It's not gone too well, has it?
no, Vasquez and Hutchinson, as they were, basically. And what's going on with Lopez? Osberg and Wagner down in 22nd and 23rd. I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah,
I know
it's
they
strange.
started.
It's normally they don't have the pace in qualifying.
Yeah. Then come race day, they're like, oh, we've got
we
that
fancy
party
some
mode.
points.
No, but that's really strange. I expected Lopez to be a lot higher up after Osberg got 2 points last time out. Admittedly, it was strategy, but...
Let's be fair, the entire top 10 last time out, apart from Powers, was strategy.
I think Alvarez was up there on pace alone, to be honest. But...
Was he? It was pure pace, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, but in all seriousness, yeah, that probably explains it. But even so, it's we usually used to seeing Wagner quite a bit up the road, as we've got a move coming up now.
Yeah, that's Ala Kanga on Alexander Zazolia then. The 7th place Kanga down the inside at the final chicane. Zazolia over the curve, and looks as though he's trying to come back at Kanga. But I get the feeling the fresh medium tyres on Kanga's car are going to give him the edge here.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. I mean, especially after the overtaking that Zazolia's been doing so far, it's probably taken quite a lot out of those tyres.
Yeah, I'd say.
And we cut back to... This is Powers, isn't it?
It's Class. It's Class in the lead. Only 2.5 seconds now clear of Enrique Ruiz.
Who's pulled out a little bit more over Powers, I believe. It's now just over 4 seconds between Ruiz and Powers.
Yeah, but interesting there then. So, I mean, it's not really worked for Class, has it? He looked as though he was taking a ton of time. He pulled out some stunning overtakes, but he made his first stop and he was, 2 seconds off the lead?
Yeah.
And, now he's just coming up to make his second in the next few laps, and he's only 2 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. He may come out behind Simon again, actually, might he? If he continues to lose a bit of time.
What did we say it was? About 15 seconds for a stop. I think he'll probably come out in the middle of them.
Yeah, in between Kinnaman and Simon.
But that's not going to help, because that means he's going to be right behind Timo Kinnaman and have to pull an overtake straight away.
Yeah, and of course, Kinnaman's probably only just stopped for his medium, so it's going to be a bit...
a shout. Simon will have as well, actually. So if Class leave this much later, he might well come out behind Adrian Simon.
But look at the gap between Simon and Kanga. There's 10 seconds now between 6th and 7th. The top 6 have just gone.
Yeah, but at least Kanga's got back past all the midfield runners now.
That's true. I mean, he'll probably blitz the field now. As he usually does.
And suddenly, out of nowhere, Ala Kanga wins by 2 minutes.
Speaking of which, did Powers beat the record last race? Oh.
Not that I'm salty.
No, I got
Damn
that impression.
Stop.
I imagine you were screaming down the radio, stay up. No, you weren't, because you're in the commentary box. If you weren't, then you would have definitely been screaming.
Oh, I was furiously texting them. Like, what are you doing? There's a record up for grabs.
Any record possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ruiz is now just over, well, it was just over a second behind Class. It's gone up to 1.5 seconds now, but he's really closing the gap.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Those fresh mediums are helping him no end as Class is coming. Oh, well, I mean, he must literally be at the end of his time life now.
Yeah, I'd imagine, another 2 laps and he'll be coming in?
Yeah, something like that. Ooh, he's really chucking it over the curbs.
Yeah, I think it's, while we're on board with the Ruiz, it's brilliant to listen to that Honda engine, which I don't know what the future will hold for Honda next season.
It's yeah, it's very true. We spoke about Franklin last time out and how they are leaving the series, but we've had no word yet as to what Honda will do.
It will be interesting.
Class pits.
That's an early stop, surely.
I don't know. I think it was. I want to say it was 16.
Yeah, true actually.
Yeah, because he set the fastest lap on lap 17 because I have a record of it.
Here he goes. He's coming for a new one now.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Straight
keep
out the pits again. Where's he going to filter in then? So Perez pits as well. Class finish now. There goes Timo Kinnaman. So he is indeed going to come out ahead of Kinnaman.
Oh.
Class rejoins in third.
That was
wow. That was a very quick stop.
That was about 13 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Wow. What have you been giving your guys?
Well, you know, monster, obviously.
Of course. I was preparing you for that one.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal effort. Class went nowhere then. Hits from the lead and rejoins only 11 seconds off of it in third place. Solid effort.
Make that about 3 seconds in about 2 laps.
Yeah. There's Davenport pits as well then.
Oh yeah, where was he? He was
I don't know, but he's now pretty much last.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, he's on the soft. Right, yeah.
Oh, is
but
it?
Even
oh,
so,
no.
Even so, you know, he's no.
How are you putting a positive spin on this one?
I've got nothing. I was trying. I'm sorry, Carson.
He's got 2 more stops to make to everyone in front of him's 1, and he's 25th.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few people in front of him.
Well, at least he's definitely going to beat his teammate this race.
Well, I mean, yep.
Anything else? Yeah.
You watch, Milkovic will be waving the checkered flag now, so he won't even get that. He won't even see the checkered flag first.
And we've got Lopez into the pits from 8th, who drops behind Jules. That's riveting.
Yeah, let's be fair, it's not been a stunning race, has it, thus far?
It's not, but I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing here is to seeing how the strategies are going to play out at the front.
To be fair, it's similar to last race. I mean, up until the strategies, it was a little bit of a, you know...
Snooze fest?
Damp squib? Snooze fest? Yeah.
It was shite.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be it. It was shite. Even with the strategies, the racing was still shocking. It was dull as anything. But somehow, drama happened.
It turned into an incredible race with the strategies. It really did. I mean, nail-biting stuff, to be fair. Especially seeing as it mattered so much for some of the little teams scoring points.
Yeah.
And who's this? It's a Holmquist.
It's going to be Bayer,
yeah.
I reckon. Yeah, there we go. So Zazzoli's just made his second stop. And for the second time in this race, pulls out on Felix Bayer. And you'd imagine he's going to easily sweep by into the final chicane. Bayer gives him all the room in the world. No, fair enough. Felix Bayer fights back then. The back end slides out in the final corner. And Bayer has taken back 9th place.
I think Bayer is a reimagined driver after last race. I don't know if that's the word, but he's really he's changed. He's a changed man.
He absolutely is. Felix Bayer is like, no, I want another podium. Unfortunately, mate, there are 8 drivers ahead of you.
This is true, but do you know what's really interesting? That Bayer has scored a podium this season before the first team.
So
I did not expect that. Yep, fair shout. That's I did not expect North Star and Holmquist to score podiums before first this season.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure anyone expected North Star, well, North Star perhaps, but I'm not sure anyone expected at the start of the year Holmqvist to score a podium.
Well, what was that stat that I think it was Ahmed brought up recently, that Holmqvist have scored a podium in the last 3 seasons? Is it each of the last 3 seasons? They were the only team outside of the top 3 to do so.
Are they actually? I totally missed that stat. I'm going to have to check that.
I hope I'm right now, but...
You are absolute, yeah, that is spot on.
Well done, Mr. Shima. That is a brilliant start.
That's
and
incredible.
Fair play to Holmqvist.
Yeah, Hugh Dwyer was 3rd in Germany in his first race for Holmqvist in 2017. Yeah. Hoskins was 2nd in the USA and 3rd in Belgium last year. And then, yeah, Felix Bayer in Spain.
They just seem to have that knack of popping up when, you know, everyone else is faltering.
They're like the Sergio Perez of Formula Virtual.
That's so true. That is actually a brilliant comparison.
You know, if there's a sniff of a random podium, you can guarantee it will be Perez.
And that is actually the epitome of Holmqvist recently. Yeah, I like that. Wow,
there we go. We shall rename them Perez Racing.
I don't know if Corey is okay with that, but we're just going to do it.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And we've got one of their drivers up behind Bergqvist up behind Alvarez now. Although he's sort of been there for a little while now, and he's not really making any inroads on him.
Yeah, he's on the fresh softs now as well, isn't he? Where he looks closer this time.
Although here we go.
Bergqvist pulls out on Sergio Alvarez. I think you've commentated curse your own driver here. Sebastian Bergqvist round the outside. Alvarez keeps his foot in though. The two of them wheel to wheel. I think Bergqvist is he's slightly further back than usual, but I think he's just going to get this around the outside of turn 1. Then Alvarez holds the inside line, but Bergqvist sweeps around the outside and moves in to 11th place.
Yeah, fair play from the Swede as Swede, yeah,
Swede.
As Hoskins makes his first stop of the race, and
only.
Where is Matson? Matson doesn't, interestingly. He decides, you know what, I'm going to stay out.
Which is totally pointless because we're already past the point of a 1 stop.
Well, why not? And for the first time we're seeing the AMR on screen.
Oh yeah, there he goes.
Hi Finn.
Hello.
As he is stuck in between Wagner and Vasquez, which is probably not where he expected to be fair.
Yeah, but I bet he wasn't expecting to be sandwiched between a Lopez and an Ingram.
Yeah, that's pretty good going actually from Schneider, and I'm sure the AMR team are just enjoying seeing the car in the race at the moment.
Yeah, it's a shame to say, but I think that's absolutely I'm not sure AMR were really expecting Masses as
Halverson
in front. Yeah, Halverson goes past Matson for 16th. I don't think AMR were expecting Masses from this season. So to have pulled out some of the results they have, qualified for races, I think that it's been a reasonable effort so far from the Australian outfit.
Yeah, and I think that's him coming in, nearly rear-ended Halverson, but yeah, I was going to say I think the one saving grace sort of for the AMR team is that I think everybody gets the feeling that something big's coming in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
You feel like they're building up to something. Yeah.
I think I mentioned it in press conference for Spain.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, AMR are building something for... Oh, just one note on AMR though. Just like to point out, they are the only team with a 100% finishing record so far this year. Probably helps they've only had 5 starts. Well, 4 before this,
yeah,
but
that's incredible. Yeah,
there we go. The 4 starts that they've had, they've finished.
And speaking of which, we've still got all of the drivers in the race.
But well, now you've done it. We're going to end up with like 8 retirements now. Nice one.
Oh, well, that'd suit me with the top 8.
Well, no, hang on a minute. So Zazolya wins from Bayer and Bergqvist. Love it. Double Holmqvist podium again.
Oh, fantastic.
To be fair, what does that put you? 5th and 6th? Yeah.
I'll take that. Was that Lopez getting past Alvarez? I think it probably was, considering that he's on
was
the...
that, why have we got slow drivers? Everyone is slow. That's a car on the side of the road. That's Butcher Giordano. Nice one. There we go. Look, it's happened immediately.
I am so sorry, Ryan. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. I was going to say. What's that done for the front runners, though? Look at that. The gap between Klaas and Ruiz is down to 5 seconds, and Klaas is right up with his teammates, so that has closed the leaders up.
And they're also
Kinnaman, who's still a mile away.
Yeah, but that's Kinnaman. They've got Hutchinson in front of them, and I believe Matson just a little bit further up the road, because, yeah, he's been lapped by Ruiz now. So that's going to be a bit of extra traffic for Klaas if he can manage to get past Nathaniel, but...
Yes, interesting that the team haven't moved Powers out of the way, given they're on different strategies.
In fairness, I guess he's probably only just caught him after the Giordano retirement.
Not the point, move.
Oh, I'm saying that was a big old jump from Powers over the curb there, as he's getting right up behind Hutchinson, and in fact the customer team.
Yes. Ardent move. There's as Powers has been bulked by Hutchinson there. This is going to give Klaas a run, you feel. Powers goes to the inside. What's Klaas going to do? Klaas is going to follow him. Is this going to give him a shot at getting past Nathaniel Powers? I don't think it is. No, Klaas has been hampered too much himself.
In fairness to Hutchinson, he sort of held them up both terribly.
Yay, good job.
Yeah, they've dropped about a second, I think, just from that to Enrique Ruiz, and they've still got to get past Matson.
Yeah, Matson has a Honda engine in the back.
He does. And a Jamie in the ear. Well, he probably doesn't, but...
I don't know. Knowing Franklin and Ingram, I bet he does have Jamie in his ear.
Direct link to the Ingram team.
I have to say, I'm half expecting to see that happen at some point this season.
What was that?
Matson and Franklin.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, if not Vasquez, probably Matson. Yeah.
Well, I think if they were going to poach one from the Ingram team, it would be Matson more so, just because he's a proven quantity.
Yeah. I mean, how long has he been at Ingram now? Is it 5 years? It can't be 5 years, can it?
Yes. Yeah, I think it must be. 2015, I think, was his first year.
Yeah, of course, because it was Team 23 before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be, yeah. Wow. And, of course, with both teams, he has... When the car has allowed it, he's been right up there, John Matson.
Well, say, he was runner-up in the first season back in 2013 to Nathaniel Powers.
That seems a long time ago.
Doesn't it just?
As we sit here in a sweaty Canadian commentary box, looking back over the years.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere
again,
with this one.
Lacking air conditioning.
As
just
usual, but it's fine. At least there's not 3 of us this time around.
This is true, it was rather cramped in Malaysia.
It was, and Harry was damp with the rain.
Harry's just damp, usually.
Hi, Harry.
What have we got? Adrian Perez? Nope, that's not right.
That's an interesting amalgamation.
Felix Perez is right up behind Adrian Simon, looking to take 5th place.
Does that come out of nowhere? I feel like Perez has gained a lot of time on Simon. I wonder if it was
he's on the fresh soft tyres at the moment, isn't he? So he probably has.
Oh, right, yeah. I don't know. My tyre thing is just everywhere at the moment.
Mediums, softs, mediums, soft, medium, soft. And Simon downwards, I don't know. I can do the top 8.
Are we going back to like the 90s here where they only mention like the top 4?
Yeah.
Because everybody else doesn't matter.
I didn't say that.
I did, and I included my own drivers in that. I'm pretty sad about it. Halverson has caught up to the back of Garcia. If anyone's interested,
I believe they're both up behind Zylander.
Yay! And Alvarez has got a pit stop over them.
I was going to say, yeah, it's ridiculous thinking a pit stop is 13 seconds, but there we go. Zylander is, he's somewhere behind his teammate now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Downton pit stop behind.
Yes.
That's the official thing.
And do you know, seeing as we run the number 13 as well, when we've not got 1 and 2 on the car,
oh yeah,
which isn't all that often.
I was waiting for you to say that, to be honest.
You know, bit of flex in there, got to get it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 and a Downton pit stop, 13 seconds. So it's pretty apt.
And Kinnaman was a Downton pit stop behind Ruiz, but he's just fallen even further behind.
A Downton pit stop plus 1.
That'll do. Oh dear.
Does that mean Kanga is a DS Mathershaw pit stop off the lead?
Oh.
I jest. The Mathershaw guys really aren't that slow at pit stops, at least not here.
I'm assuming that you were just referring to the number rather than the actual pit stop.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I was getting at.
Arthur's going to be knocking on your door in a bit.
Yeah, he is.
Well, sure.
To be fair, I think we need to have some discussions about what's going on next year anyway.
Very true. I mean, has that been talked about yet? I'm not really sure.
Publicly, no. We're still finalising details.
I'll leave it at that.
There we are.
Of course, it involves a lot of teams.
It does. Pretty much half the field, let's be fair.
In fact, actually, something that I believe wasn't mentioned last race, I know that Franklin was mentioned, but the return of Westwood wasn't mentioned.
Ridiculously, given how atrocious the actual racing itself was, we never got round to talking about that.
Well, it's been sort of, it was Nick Morley who released a statement saying that they'd be returning, and it was kind of a bit, not hush-hush, but kept quiet in a way, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I think, Harry just, as Harry does, he just wanted to quietly slip back in.
Sounds like the end of a night out for Harry.
Exactly. It's standard Westwood.
No, but in all seriousness, I think it's brilliant for the sport to say that we're losing a team like Franklin, which, as Nick put last race, won't be bad for the sport, but it will certainly make the sport different. It's great to have a team like Westwood coming back in with so much history.
Yeah, it certainly is. And they have already announced a driver, haven't they?
They have. Who originally... Yeah. I briefly forgot who I'd signed.
Fantastic.
But yeah, he didn't originally agree a deal with Phoenix for next season. And then, of course, the opportunity came for him to return to Westwood, which I think all parties involved were more than happy with.
Yeah, and as I say, Carl will head up the Westwood lineup next year in car number 69.
Of course. I think it's his favourite number, so I hear, but...
We're certainly Harry's.
What gives you that idea? Hunter Ryan's been lapped.
That was totally out of the blue.
It was.
Yeah, he has. It's, well, at least he's still running. Unlike his teammate.
The Alpha engine hasn't quite given up yet.
No. But yeah, it's stagnated a bit, hasn't it? Klaas is stuck behind his teammate. You can't help but feel this is massively costing him now.
And
to be fair, the pair of them are still behind John Matson.
I have actually just realised that. Yeah. What is going on?
How have they not lapped Matson?
And in fact, they've got who is that? Is that Ryan in front of them as well?
It's Hunter Ryan as well between them and Ruiz. Ruiz is he's starting to run away with this one now, isn't it? I mean, he's only 5 seconds up the road, obviously. He's
got a big train of cars ahead of him, though.
He does, yeah. For Osberg back to Hoskins. Yeah.
And when are we due the next set of pit stops? It should be about lap maths
48.
Yeah, I got there eventually.
They'd be the soft tyres. And And
Ooh,
the
so
mediums were
fast.
lap, what, 26, 7-ish?
Yeah, 26. I think you said the end of lap 26.
Yeah, so we're going to get pretty much the entire field pitting within sort of 5 laps here or so then.
Yeah, and interestingly, where's that going to put class? With a Downton pit stop, that's just behind Perez by the looks of things, unless they can. Oh, wait, there we
Perez
go.
will pit as well.
Powers has been balked by Matson slightly.
Yeah, and that's
gonna
giving
give
class another run, but Oh, damn me heart in my mouth there. Look at the time they've lost. They're nearly some 7 seconds behind Ruiz now.
Yeah, and class has lost even more.
Yeah.
Finally gets the job done.
Well,
Turn 10.
Matson did the did what he was intended to do there, didn't he, for his fellow Honda-powered team?
The dishonourable thing.
Yeah, but I think that's expected, isn't it? Really?
I think it's and
he did what he could get away with.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's fair to say. You wouldn't do that to old Jean, would you?
Oh no, you're quite right. I wouldn't. I'd hire someone to do it.
Oh, I see.
Someone taller.
Someone who's not doing anything.
Reach.
Marcus Thunder, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, there we go. He's sat in the garage. Or maybe Kovalenko. Actually give him something to do this season. Rather than just a practice session and then a failed attempt at Q1 again.
Poor Ryan.
But maybe he just needs a wet qualifying session. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all Kovalenko requires. Just needs some rain.
Well, I mean, we're going to USA next, and who the hell knows what could happen there?
Well, this is true. I mean, given some of the results we've had in the USA in the past, wouldn't be surprised if we saw Finn Schneider winning.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Campos winning.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no! I really hope Chiba don't put Campos in the car. Don't. Why have you even given them that suggestion?
I feel like I might have done.
Oh, but then he wasn't put in for his home race in Spain last time out.
That surprised me, actually. I was genuinely surprised by that.
He was given a run out in practice.
Oh, class fits.
Yeah, there we go then. So end of lap 48, and no, quite right. In comes Klaas van Snelheid from third place. Perez pits as well. So hopefully Klaas will get a little bit of clear air.
Oh, of course, I knew I was being an idiot before when I said he'd come out behind Perez. Of course, Perez had to pit as well. So
yeah,
but he has come out ahead of Kanga.
And flies out the pit lane. Still ahead of Arden Hutchinson, thankfully.
Oh, where did he come from? Okay.
Well, Hutchinson was lapped, wasn't he? So he was. They dropped him a little bit. But yeah, there we go. About 13 seconds again for Klaas. Solid effort.
It was, wasn't it? Yep.
Perez as well, to be fair. That was only about 13 seconds. So yeah, some quick pit stops here in Canada as Perez rejoins in a very lonely 7th place.
It really is, isn't it? I mean, the seems like the top 7 now. It was the top 6 before, and now the top 7 with the addition of Ala Kanga have just really blown the rest of the field away.
Yeah, Kanga's done well to recover. He's only 6 seconds behind his teammate.
I was just thinking that, considering where he was at the start.
Yeah, and how many drivers he was stuck behind.
Yeah.
There's Kanga there. We've just seen him put a lap on Arden Hutchinson.
He was with the Meteor guys, wasn't he, earlier in the race? So, yeah, I'd say that's a good race actually from Ala Kanga so far.
Yeah, he's recovering well, but he needs to. We said this in his first season. This Klaas van Snelheid. There we go. There's another fastest lap.
Hey.
Well, it's barely like hundredths quicker than the last one. Some 33 laps ago, but there we go.
What's the lap record here?
I have no idea.
I'm testing you.
But I shall find out.
Thank you. As we watch Timo Kinnaman just a second ahead of Adrian Simon, and they've got Klaas van Snelheid right behind them now, immediately out of the pits. As we cut to JML. He's going to drop in between Bergqvist and Halverson pits as well.
He's taken it.
He's
taken
really?
the lap record.
Oh, fantastic.
It was a 1:13.424 set by Olen Lindman in 2016. Oh no, I haven't taken account of last year's race. Never mind, ignore me. You might not have done.
Well, the cars were faster last year, weren't they, than the previous seasons? But
oh no, the fastest lap last year was well, so it was a 15.4. Yeah, there we go.
Class up the inside. Sorry to cut across you. It looks like he's just been squeezed out though by Simon, but he may get a run down into turn 1. No, he's backed off.
Yeah, oh no, Class dives at the last minute then. Up the inside of Adrian Simon at turn 1, but can't make anything of that.
Crucially, onto Ryan's come out of the pits in between Kinnaman and the pair of them, and that may give Class a chance on the straight.
Well,
or it may hamper him completely.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. As Nathaniel Powers looks as though he's closing back in a little on Enrique Ruiz. As Class is still clambering all over the rear end of that DS Mathershaw. He's absolutely desperate to find a way past, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like the cars are almost becoming one. He is right up the rear end of Simon.
Oh Lord. Well, I mean, yeah, meanwhile, Hunter Ryan, look at how Hunter Ryan is challenging Kinnaman. That's ridiculous.
Oh God. Okay.
As here we go then, right, down the back straight. Surely this is it this time around for Class 1 Snow Idea. There we go. Look at the extra speed down the straight he's got from the traction on those soft tyres out of the corner. Hunter Ryan's not been able to unlap himself from Kinnaman, but Class 1 Schnellheid can pass Adrian Simon, and the Dutchman moves up into 4th place.
And now you'd think he'll set about Timo Kinnaman. And
Hunter Ryan first.
And of course Hunter Ryan, who seems to have got a new lease of life.
Ryan's just seen a Franklin and gone, what?
I mean, he's Australian, isn't he? So it'd be like, oh, I might have something like that. That was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
I am so sorry, Dylan, Nick, Ryan.
This is why I don't attempt an Australian accent.
Well, here we go then. This is Ruiz being bulked by Vasquez slightly.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? And he's touched him. Ruiz into the back of Vasquez at the braking zone, and Finn Schneider takes the opportunity to unlap himself. And look how this has helped Powers. Powers is only 2 seconds behind now.
Oh.
Schneider's used that to pass Vasquez as well. Hoskins has used it to pass Vasquez around the outside down the straight, and Ruiz is still stuck behind them. The gap is 1.5 seconds. Ruiz has lost his entire lead, stuck behind another Honda-powered car, and he dives for pit lanes with Powers right up under his rear wing.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I saw him come into that group of cars before, and I thought it might cause a little bit of trouble, but that's really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons there.
And look at this then. If Downton can get a quick stop under their belt here, can Powers jump Ruiz in the... No, never mind.
In fairness though, he's... what is he? When they get back up to racing speeds, he is...
I tell you, that's allowed Class through into the lead though.
Unbelievable. I was not expecting that, and that's astounding.
Yeah, so Enrique Ruiz, being bulked as he was, as Kinnaman comes out side by side with Hutchinson and just gets ahead of him. Thankfully, he doesn't have another Hunter Ryan situation. Well, he might do, yeah, actually. Hutchinson may try and unlap himself. But, yeah, Ruiz and Powers being bulked there has allowed... I've just developed hiccups, so I apologise. Has allowed Class 1 Schnellheid into the lead.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, Enrique Ruiz, as we've seen on these fresh mediums, he will be right all over Class 1 Schnellheid.
But Class's softs are pretty fresh as well.
That's true, they're only, 6 laps old?
Yeah, not even that, 5 I think.
We'll have to see how this pans out then, but Ruiz looked like he got a pretty decent exit, and he's starting to close now on Class, but I think he's going to be too far back.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Although, they are really close to coming to the final chicane then. Ruiz practically pushing the Dutchman. But yeah, let's not forget, Ruiz and Powers have just made their final stop. Class has 1 to go. So he's going to have to pull out, what, an entire pit stop in 14 laps?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't see him doing it. However, if he plays the team game, this could work well for Powers if he can catch back up to them and make something happen.
Yeah, if Class can back Ruiz up here.
Have you got the radio on?
Did just turn the dial. We got Perez is up into 4th place as well at the moment on the soft tyres. Interested to see where he filters in at the end.
We've got Simon and Bayer into the pits. That'll be their
That's
last
neat.
stop.
Oh yeah, Jules Simon.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I was looking at it going, that's not a matter, sure. What?
That Chima is beautiful. Sorry.
What?
The Chima just really impressed me as it went past. It was shining beautifully in the Canadian sun. There it is.
Okay. The battle for the... I don't know where to go with that. The battle for the lead then, Nathaniel Powers is just 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds now behind Klaas van Snel with the top 3. Then, within 2 seconds, funnily enough, as that is Elroy Wagner coming out of the pits just in front of Klaas van Snel. And the leaders now have 4 cars right in front of them to contend with. This could shape the race if Klaas can get through these and leave a gap.
This could actually get quite tasty now, and Nathaniel has already gained just over a second, I believe.
Yeah, and let's not forget, the first 2 cars they're going to come up to are Downton powered.
They are, Dylan.
At least, there's carnage. That's Will Hoskins parked at the side of the road. Every car is nearly coming to a standstill. So many near accidents. That was, I thought Hunter Ryan was going to go straight into the back of Finn Schneider there, but they all just about managed to keep it on the track as Highlander dives for the pit lane, and somehow none of them have collided, and they've all come out in exactly the same order.
I have to
That's
say, that
incredible.
Was incredible. Everybody there did an absolutely fantastic job of avoiding the stranded Andromeda, and that's another reliability issue for the Andromeda team.
Yeah, as I'm sure now Hector will also strike you off of his Christmas card list. So that's Ryan Hector.
Oh, damn.
It's gone well.
But yeah, interestingly, the leaders are still stuck behind those 2 Lopez cars. It didn't really change much in the grand scheme of things, but apart from Powers just dropping back a tiny little bit from them.
Yeah, there's Klaas down the inside there of Wagner, but that's not going to work, is it? No, he's kind of gone around the outside. Ruiz is going to follow him straight through.
Oh!
That was fantastic driving from Ruiz there on the grass, but no, Wagner, his former teammate, is coming back at him, but Ruiz absolutely shuts him out there and says, no way, son. Powers, meanwhile, is going to squeak by far easier.
Yeah, and once again, apart from Klaas pulling out about a second, they pretty much all seem to be about the same as they were before, so they're getting through this lap of traffic a lot better than Ruiz did before.
Yeah, meanwhile, the guys behind them have closed in quite substantially. Look at that. Perez, Kinnaman, Seaman and Kanga have all gained about 3 seconds on this leading trio.
Yeah, that's incredible. They were, as you said, Perez was about 9 seconds behind, wasn't he? And now he's down to 6. So.
Well, so no, what's it? Because Seaman and Kanga were 13 and 16.
Yeah. And next up is Osberg. This is really bringing the race to life after, a bit of a...
That sums it up well, I think. But yeah, it certainly is. But let's not forget, though, obviously the guys behind the top 3 will have to come through this traffic as well soon enough.
Yeah, very true. And of course, Klaas still has that pit stop to make, which will actually drop him right back down now, won't it? Seeing as Simon and Kanga.
Yeah, won't it just? I mean, that's going to put him behind. Yeah. It's going to be close with Kanga, I think.
Yeah, if the Downton boys can pull out one of the monster pit stops, then they might be okay.
Although, mind you, Simon and Kanga have suddenly just lost 2 seconds apiece.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're stuck behind. Will it be Schneider? No.
Could be.
They're stuck behind somebody.
Look at that. Look how close
Powers
is now to Ruiz. As I think Osberg got in the way ever so slightly there. Somehow, somewhere along the line, Osberg's passed Vasquez.
Huh.
Missed that one.
Yeah, and there's been a little bit more position changing going on. It looks like Davenport has swapped positions with... Has Matson just got past? No. Ignore me. It's fine.
So what we're saying is Matson leads from Davenport.
What year is this?
Klaas van Snelheid then still half a second ahead of Enrique Ruiz as Davenport there moves out of the way. I think only a class one is now. Yeah, he's moved back in front of Ruiz. Ruiz though,
Oh, no.
that is a car in the middle of the track, and that is Finn Schneider.
Oh, no.
Ruiz has driven into him, but he's avoided any damage. Ruiz then still with the front wing. Powers has hit the stranded car as well, but likewise no damage. Kinnaman caught up behind, and I don't think anyone, apart from Schneider, has damage to the car. Apart from the Ingram that's stuck on him.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, it's Vasquez.
Oh,
and there's the first. And that's... Is that Perez? No, it can't. That's got to be Zazolia. As finally Vasquez frees himself and... I don't know. He's still got a whole front wing.
how has everybody managed to get away?
Cars just keep driving into him.
Somebody clear that air.
Right, here we go then. So this is what happened. On board with Finn Schneider, the engine rather caught fire. And Finn then parked it at the wall, and so who drove? So it was Lopez.
Oh.
Lopez just decided to nerf him into the middle of the track, and then the other meteor had to go as well. Oh, that's not on.
That is wow. That is not.
Whoa! And so I'm not quite sure what happened there then, but Finn Schneider seemed to roll on top of one of the Phoenix cars.
I can only imagine
from a standstill.
Reaction.
What was that about?
This is what AMR have been doing. They've been developing a car that can flip itself over.
Do they intend on spending a lot of time upside down?
In all seriousness, I hope that Finn Schneider's okay there, because that could have been really nasty, especially if the car was on fire.
Absolutely, and well, to be fair, Alvarez as well. I mean, he seems as though he's all right. He's still going, but Crocky's just had a car land on his head.
He has got a hard skull. Has Sergio.
One of the top qualities you want in a racing driver.
Yeah, I mean, if he can outlast anybody else, then that's all we ask for.
So that's certainly opened things up a little up front then. Glass and Ruiz have passed the massive back markers for the time being, and have stretched out now a 4.5 second gap on Nathaniel Powers, who seems to have lost the most time in all of that.
Yeah, I think Powers got stuck behind the Chima and Matson, Davenport and Matson for a little bit longer there than he would have expected, and that's put him quite a way down, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. I'm still amazed and impressed no one came out of that with damage.
I thought that all of the top three would have to come into the pits there, I really did.
Yeah.
What have they made the cars out of? That's pretty astounding.
Our front wings are totally not made out of rubber.
This is the secret. But I think the biggest losers out of that were Meteor. I looked at things. Simon's dropped down about 4 places, and I think Lopez may have lost out to Bergqvist in all of that.
Well, yeah, but let's be fair, both drivers aimed for Schneider. I mean, the poor bloke was parked at the side of the track on fire, and they've just driven into it.
Yeah, poor Finn had just pulled over, and JML was just like, nah.
Get back in the middle of that track.
What was that accent?
I've no idea. But it certainly wasn't an Argentine accent.
Oh dear.
There's we've got... Who is that? I think that's one of the DS Matthew cars in between the two Lopez's, darting all over the track. It's Adrian Simons who tries to lap Elroy Wagner. Wagner's passed his teammate. Look at that.
He has, and he's also got past Simon by the looks of things. Nope, Simon's back ahead now.
Yeah, there we go. There's Alar Kanga now trying to put a lap on Victor Rosberg down the inside of turn 1, and nope.
That will not do. And we are really seeing the difficulty here of actually getting past lap traffic. It's really... It's
just overtaking in general.
But yeah, exactly, yeah.
As Klaas van Snelheid, this is getting quite close now. 10 seconds back to Felix Perez. Perez is going to pit again, Kinnaman isn't, so Kinnaman's the one we've got to watch out for. It's 11 seconds. If Klaas can eke out a couple more, he might be able to salvage a podium here.
Yeah, pretty surprisingly after all that, when the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th guys all closed in, I thought that Klaas was on for a pretty, terrible result. mind you, Perez would have had to pit as well. But I thought he was definitely going to drop behind the two DS
Yeah, but that
Mazda
would.
shots.
I mean, you did what? I said he was like nailed on for 6th at that point.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was expecting. But now it looks like he is pulling out slightly on Kinnaman. Although, no, he's not now.
Yeah,
Never mind.
It's just still sort of like 11 seconds, isn't it? Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's not forget though, Kinnaman is in that traffic, I believe.
He is, and
I think he's got Matson and Davenport still to go.
I believe so. And if Klaas is on the fresh softs at the end of the race, he may be able to have him, even if he's just right behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there we go. On board with Timo Kinnaman then. So he's behind Perez, who is behind John Matson. So they do have 2 more cars to lap.
Yeah, and Matson definitely won't be pitting again because he's on the hard tyres.
Mind you, Klaas must be right behind Garcia. Oh no, Klaas isn't behind Garcia because that is Gabriele Garcia parked up at the side of the road with another engine failure here today.
Yeah, thankfully it looks a little bit less troublesome than the last one, but this is proving difficult for the engines here.
Yeah, so that's Rye, Hector, Ryan, and now Nick as well. That you've upset.
This is what happens when
Commentator's
I come up
curse. It's a thing.
I didn't believe it before, but I do now. It's fine. You know, they've still got other drivers. Oh no, they don't. Not all of them. No. Okay. Well, I'll be on.
Do you know what? None of those retirements have aided you either.
Yeah, they've really not. But they have aided Chima, so I'll be on Ahmed's Christmas list.
Yeah, Davenport, unless he retires.
No, he won't retire. Chima have had some brilliant reliabilities.
Have they? Let's take a look at that, shall we?
I mean, apart from last race.
Yeah, but I mean, first that wasn't reliability. That was a, crazy Mexican.
Okay, we're gonna roll with that. Yeah. Yeah, that seems about fair.
6 starts, 4 finishes.
Yeah.
Not a bad going.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
There's what are we on lap? Lap 63, and Klaas must be nearing his final stop, surely.
I was just thinking, yeah, is it about next lap?
There's Kinnaman's 12.67 behind.
Oh, he must have got really stuck.
Oh,
yeah,
13. Yeah, so right, where is he? He's behind Perez now. Then. This is going to be really tight then. Tempted to say Klaas should pit now. He's already missed the pit lane, hasn't he? Yeah, because these guys are on the back straight.
But the good thing is that Perez on the soft tyre. The good thing for Klaas is Perez on the soft tyres. He's going to hold Kinnaman up until he comes into the pits, which will be the same time as Klaas. You would imagine.
Yeah, it certainly will be.
This is going to be really close.
Yeah, I think first and second are, unless anything happens, first and second are sorted, aren't they? Really. I don't think Powers has got anything to offer Ruiz. Ruiz as a race.
Although they both just gained a fair bit of time on Klaas, I'm not sure.
This is on board with Felix Bayer, and Bayer then leaves his brake in a day late and $1 short into turn 1 and has careered straight into the back of one of the Ingrams. Although, actually, I think that might be a little unfair on Bayer. I think that may have been a brake failure.
Yeah, I think it might have been. He's actually retired, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no way did he miss his braking point.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I said it. But I've not used the phrase in a while, so you know.
I thought you were waiting to. Oh, Alvarez is losing heaps of time. He's just dropped behind Zylander. I think.
He has. Who did Bayer hit? It was an Ingram that Bayer hit, wasn't it? Ah, there we go. Klaas pits then from the lead at the end of lap 64.
Yeah, not sure what's happened to Alvarez. I think he's gone for a.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he's out now.
Sergio Alvarez then retires from the race, and where was he? He was running 11th.
Yeah, it was up in 11th.
Oh, Kinnaman's gone through. This is going to be close. Klaas exits the pit lane. Kinnaman hasn't gone through. Klaas rejoins in 3rd place.
Oh, that's fantastic for Klaas. And do you know what? He's actually only 5 seconds behind Powers. I don't know. He might be able to catch him here.
He might catch him. I don't know if he'll overtake him.
Are they behind lap traffic? They're not, are they? No. So it will be a straight fight. It could be interesting.
It could, yeah. We'll keep an eye on that one in as some more of the guys. Bergqvist in the pits as well for his final stop. And is he going to rejoin in 10th? He is. He's some way clear of Halverson as well. Sebastian Bergqvist then out in 10th place. All on his Todd.
And that again goes to sort of back up what we were saying before about Northtown. They've really dropped off recently.
Yeah.
That's Nick's going to be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I'd say.
And Lopez up into 9th. Although, does he have a pit to make this lap? I think he might.
Is Lopez on the softs? Yeah, he's got to. Surely he wouldn't be that close to Zazalia.
Yeah, but he'll still be on for 10th place.
He will, yeah. Unless the pit stop goes horribly wrong.
Oh God, I'm not putting any more curses on anyone. Interestingly, we've not had any yellow flags this race, even though.
Yeah. Do you know? I've not actually noticed any marshals. I think they forgot to turn up. Here we go then. So this is on board with Alvarez, and well, that went very quiet as he exited the final corner.
That brings back bad memories.
Doesn't it just? Did he make it to the line this time?
I think he did.
He did! Unfortunately, it wasn't the final lap.
Oh yeah, Lopez pits, but yeah, that means that I am off my own Christmas list. So.
Dang it.
Yeah, so like I say, Lopez comes back out in 10th, and Halverson had to pit anyway, so he's pretty solid there in 10th place.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's got some, 10 seconds nearly back to his teammate.
Yeah, it's been a strange season so far for Meteor. I feel like they've been, very up and down.
Massively. Some races they've been right there, and others just nowhere. As I was going to say, Class isn't really closing on Powers as I expect him to, but he's got the gap down to just over 3 seconds already, I suppose.
He has, and I didn't realise Davenport still had a pit to make, so he's dropped down now. Behind them.
No!
But it will still be.
Mind you, Hutchinson and Vasquez was some way behind.
Yeah,
he's rejoined in 17th. Yeah, there we go.
That's his giant best finish of the season if he can finish it.
Yeah, I think that's Chima's best finish of the season so far, isn't it? As well, 17th.
Yes, it is. Milkovic 2 races ago, and Davenport last race, I think.
There we go.
I hope I'm.
What's Lucas's best is 50?
Let me get it up actually. 15th last race, wasn't it? And the first race of the season, Australia.
Nah.
Yeah. Whereas AMR got the 14th place finish, which has kept them above those 2 teams, unbelievably. It has to be said.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Mind you, I think AMR have probably shown in the last few races more pace than Lucas, but yeah, I think Chima have probably been the team of those 3 that should be at the front.
Yeah, I think it would be fair for Chima to grab a good result at some point in the second half of the season and get that position, I think. But we'll have to wait and see what everybody does. But
yeah,
for sure,
Formula Virtual doesn't tend to like playing by the rules.
No. Well, that's what I would love it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the gap then between Powers and Class in second and third is now just a shade over 2 seconds there. It's entirely possible Class will catch his teammate. I don't know if anything will happen between them.
I must admit the pace difference hasn't been as much as I expected. I think because the medium tyres aren't actually as old as they were in the first stint.
Yeah.
But actually, it looks really close now, doesn't it?
It does. You see all the top 3. We've got a shot of the hairpin there. All of the top 3 within one picture. All the top 4 within one picture. Just, despite the fact that Kinnaman is some 6 seconds behind. He's not lost as much time in the second half of the race as he did the first.
I was just going to say that. I mean, he was 9 seconds behind. Was it just before the halfway point? Now he's only 11 seconds behind. So, he's done all right actually. As Tumo.
I mean, he hasn't. His teammate's leading. He's 11 seconds back. And there's 2 Downtons in between them. He's not done right. He's done shockingly.
That's one way of looking at it.
Well, I mean, okay, yes, fine. His teammate is Ruiz. But, I mean, you look at it like that. Ruiz has kind of been racing with the 2 Downtons. Kinnaman has been racing with the two Mattershorts, who, let's face it, in this race have been slower.
Let's be fair, DS Matashore have been a long way off so far this weekend.
Perez has passed Kanga. Why is Perez past Kanga?
Kanga is losing chunks of time.
Yeah, and he still is.
I think that may be a retirement.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, Kanga's still losing time then. Alary's just decided to stop somewhere for a cup of tea. No, there we go.
No,
Kanga joins the list of retirements then from the Canadian V-Prix with just, 2 laps to go. And, well, that means you're off Rob's credit card list. Credit card list? Here we go. On board with Kanga then. And it just went quiet into turn 1. He decided to stick it around the outside of turn 1 and parked it on the apex of turn 2. Nicely done, Alar.
And he becomes the second DS engine in, about 3 laps, 4 laps to retire.
Yeah, and that's a shame because he'd recovered really well.
He had. From the position that he was in early in the race, I think Aller had actually driven really well. Aller? Oh, Bergqvist losing time, hand over fist now.
Oh, yeah, so Sebastian Bergqvist then. The Swedes. Pretty decent drive. Looks as though it's come to an end.
This is pretty unbelievable.
Let's put Zylander into the points.
Yeah! I mean, that'll do.
Wow, that's... Yeah, and there he is. So,
yeah.
Bergqvist parked at the side of the track on fire as suddenly out of nowhere, we're on the last lap and the top 3 are within a second and a half. What's happened here? Ruiz is slowed suddenly on the final lap.
Powers is right up behind him. He seems okay at the moment, but that's... I wonder if he lost a lot of time behind Bergqvist.
That's entirely possible. Ruiz then losing a shed load of time on the final lap. A last minute scare for Franklin, but I think he's just about got enough to hold on then. As he rounds the final chicane, Enrique Ruiz, he's had 3 pole positions in a row, but he's retired from the last 2. He's not going to do so today. Ruiz wins in Canada and ends Nathaniel Powers' winning streak. Powers comes home in second with his teammate right up under his rear wing for 3rd place. So it's another double podium then for Downton. Kinnaman 4th to cap off a pretty reasonable day for Franklin then, after some non-scores in recent races. Simon 5th ahead of Felix Perez, who benefited late on from Alar Kanga's retirement. Alexander Zolia will come home in 7th ahead of the 2 Meteors, who will have to wait a little bit of a while for. And Thierry Zylander then, he's got to defend from Johan Halvorsen on the final lap, but it looks as though he may well pick up the final point.
Yeah, and I must say, we've not really spoke that much about Ruiz this race, and to be fair to him, he's driven pretty brilliantly to hold off the challenge from the Downton guys.
He has, and he maintains his record this season of being on the podium in every race that he's finished.
That's pretty incredible, yeah. He's been unlucky with retirements so far. Is it 3 retirements, I believe?
Yeah, 3, I think.
As it looks like Zylander has just held off Halvorsen at the line.
I think he has, yeah. And Davenport, 15th as well. That's crucial for Chima. That could move them past Lucas in the rankings, but we'll have to have a look. But up front, well, the day belongs to Enrique Ruiz. He managed to hold off Nathaniel Powers throughout the race, and the challenge from Class and the soft tyres wasn't enough. Enrique Ruiz wins in Canada. So the official classification shows that Enrique Ruiz tops the podium for the first time since round 1 back in Melbourne. He is joined by the Downton pair of Nathaniel Powers and Classman Schnellheid. Timo Kinnaman comes home 4th ahead of the sole DS Mattershore. The pair of firsts, the 2 Meteors and Thierry Zylander, who rounds out the points. Alar Kanga with that retirement, probably the most notable. Classman Schnellheid took the fastest lap, and what does that mean for the Drivers' Championship? Well, Powers extends his lead at the top by 3 points over Classman Schnellheid. That's up to 20. Enrique Ruiz is past Adrian Simon for 3rd. He is now 36 points off the championship lead and closing in. There is a little bit of movement further back as well. Perez goes past Halvorsen, Jules Simon past Vasquez, Mario Juan Lopez with only his 2nd score jumps up 2 spots, as does Carsten Davenport, who goes past Marcus Thunder and Nikolai Milkovic. And in the Constructors' Championship, Downton extend their lead over DS Master to 80 points. It's now 89 back to Franklin. That's come down ever so slightly. And the only change in the standings is for 9th and 10th. Meteor have moved past Lopez on 14 points to 12. But that's all from our race here today in Montreal. So from both me and Alex, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 9 from Indianapolis, United States.